few weeks have gone by since my last update. My raised beds are now made out of the bits of leftover wood that I was talking about. So now it is to add some protection onto the wood, so that basically it lasts for longer, and then start filling them with the compost. Beds have all been coated with some linseed oil that I showed you in the previous clips, and I've placed them in their desired locations. So you can see I've got these two big ones, my previous one that's already in use from Sustainable Kerry Muir, and then I've got a little one in the corner here. I did a little one because I didn't want to block this door. This one has been filled up from my graveyard of plants gone by, so basically all the compost and soil that was already in these plants from last year, I've reused it in this bed here. I'm going to use some of the remaining ones in here, but obviously that's not going to fill it up, so I've got some bags of compost, so that's my next job. I've already de-weeded these areas. I actually wasn't prepared, but you can see I've got some courgettes here growing that I need to space out. That has basically reseeded from last year. I wish I would have got the camera out, but I completely forgot. So down the crack here where it's reseeded, I actually just found a courgette growing from in between the cracks of the pavement. I should have got my camera out, I just couldn't believe it. But anyway, the next job is to try and fill up these beds. Okay, so that's as much as I managed to get out of those pots. Not too bad actually. It's managed to add sort of like a base layer. So I'm going to now get my bags of fresh compost and start adding them in. I think, to be honest, I don't think it's actually going to fill up this bed, but we'll give it a go anyway. Junior is looking about as knackered as I feel. So that's all my compost bags used up, and I have only filled the one bed. Those bags have just about filled that bed, so I know roughly I need probably 6 or 7 bags for the other bed, but that's fine. This bed is all ready to go, which is what was important. I needed to have one bed ready because, as I was mentioning earlier, you can see how all of the courgette self-seeded last year, and how close together it all is. So basically my next job is going to be to move these courgettes from this bed into this bed, and then give it a great big watering. So you can see, I don't know how many courgette plants that's created, probably I would say at least 10 at least, and then there's more popping up. So I'm gonna have an abundance of courgette this year. But yeah, I want to move them out of the way because I know that the plants get really big and that is not going to be enough space for them. So I pretty much think this whole bed is going to be courgettes, which is, it's fine. That'll be useful, but they definitely need to be moved. So that is the next job. So this is where we are at with Project Courgette. I mean, you can see how many there are. Just from, I think I had like 2 courgette plants in the box originally. So you can see how much has really come from that. Not to mention the fact that there are still actually 3 tiny ones still in there. But I'm just not going to bother moving them just yet until they get a bit bigger. Until actually, I don't know, maybe they'll end up in that bed. I don't know. I really would like to grow other things other than courgette, but since they're here, they might as well stay. So you can see I've literally got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 courgettes in there, and then 3 more in there. So 14 courgette plants, my goodness. So the last job that I'm going to do out here today is I'm going to trim back some of this kale because that's looking really good. And over here with these little trellises, I've got a little pea plant that really needs to come outside. That little plant's really desperate to get outside, so I'm going to move that. And then that will be me done for the gardening projects for today. I thought that maybe to stop this video from getting too long, I might give you an update now and end the video. We'll see how it turns out. So I'll give you a little walk around and just update you on where we are so far. So these are my Leatris, getting really tall now. And the fuchsia, still no signs of flower, but they're there. The only real change is along here. So again, you can see the Leatris is getting really big. The only 2 that are really struggling is, you can see these 2 down here. They're taking a long time to come out. I'm not sure why. And you can see they're just right next to each other in this little space. I'm not sure why that's happening. So just to fill the gap, because it was looking a bit odd, I've added 2 little Veronica plants. Of course, I had to have Veronica in my garden. It would be a bit strange if I didn't. So I just put these 2 little ones in here just to fill a little bit of space, really. And then in these window boxes, again, you can see the little plants that are growing here are really struggling to come out. So it was just looking really empty. So to make it just look a bit better, make use of these boxes, I have put in some of these cyclopses. The name of these ones are, I think, Trailing Valley. So I just put them in there just to make that look a bit prettier. These ones are still here. They're not looking too happy, so I don't know if they've passed their best. And I actually really can't remember what these are. I should have saved the tags like I've done with the other ones, but I haven't got a clue what they are. So if you know, please let me know. The biggest transformation is along this bed here. So if you remember from the start, it was pretty much all hydrangeas. So I did a little bit of plant shopping. So now I've got these little pots, which probably are not going to stay here, but they're just like these little terracotta pots. I thought these were really, really pretty. My camera's not going to focus. But these are... Name will focus. osteospermum, and the variety is Serenity Blushing Beauty. It's not going to focus, so you're going to have to rely on my pronunciation there. So I've just got this little one in a pot just on the side here. It's not going to live here forever. I just put it here while my garden, by the other end of the garden, that is being done, because that area, if you remember, like I said, is going to be sort of like a potted area. So I've got my hydrangea here looking okay. It's looking a bit paler than the other one, so I don't know if I need to do something for that. It's also not looking like it's going to give me any flowers compared to the one next to it. Since I last showed you, that is starting to get flowers on it. And at the back here, just to kind of pretty it up a little bit, I've put in this osprey. I was really attracted to this one when I was looking around because I could see the bees were just loving going in and out of that, so I thought that would be a good one to add in. I'm going to try and sort of control the size of these hydrangeas, but worst case scenario, these can always be moved later on. But that's what's there for now. And then moving along, I've got some more of those plants that I really struggle to say the name of. It's just a different variety. This one's a bit more yellow and it's got like a vibrant purple. This hasn't got a proper pot yet, so I've just put it there just for somewhere for it to live for now. Then I've got another hydrangea here which isn't showing any signs of flowering either. Then next to it I have put in some alliums. This allium doesn't have much on it yet, it's just kind of buds. But the variety is Allium Millennium. But I just thought that looked nice. It cheered the area up. And then again, I've got my hydrangeas, my little hydrangeas, which are all actually showing me signs of flowering, which I'm really happy with. And then next to it, I've got this, is it Digitail? Again, picked up this one because the bees were loving it. They were in and out of there. So I thought, I definitely know they like them. So in that one went. And the variety of this one is called Camelot Lavender. For anyone who's wanting to know, it's just got sort of like purple and yellow, which I thought was really nice. Then another hydrangea. Oh, my battery's flashing. I got a fuchsia, which again is not going to live here forever. Another allium. Hydrangea, which is really doing well. My dahlia. Then I've got my peony, which isn't going to give me anything this year, I know for sure. Then I got myself another dahlia because I thought that end can be more about hydrangeas. This end can be more about dahlias. Although these ones are not dahlias, they are chrysanthemums. But I thought they kind of look like similar-ish, so they look nice together. If you remember here, there was a stump, so I took on the mammoth task of getting that out. It was not easy. I really should have filmed it, but it wasn't a pretty sight. But I managed to finally get that dead stump out. Then over here, this is a rose that I forgot about. I'd left it at the end of the garden. It was a mini rose. It's actually grown quite a bit, but it was almost dead when I found it, and I've kind of nurtured it to some form of life. I'm not expecting to get any flowers on it, but it's just more about rescuing it and hopefully getting something off it next year. Then I've got this guy in here. Again, I thought it looked nice with the sort of dahlia section. So this is a Bracteantha. Bracteantha, I think that's what that's called. Rose pink. I just thought they were really pretty. Again, the bees were loving that. My tiny baby hydrangea. And then another one of these flowers that I struggled to say the name of in a different variety, again in a pot that's not going to stay there. So that's pretty much the update, apart from over here where I have cleaned up a bit, got rid of the major weeds and the rubbish that was there. A lot of the stuff has actually been repurposed, found different homes with other people that are going to find other uses for it. These blocks have also found another home. Somebody's going to find a use for those, so that's great. And then I can gravel this area over. My other major job was this shed, was clearing it out. This was full, pretty much halfway up, of just random stuff. Pretty much just logs that were left here by the old owner for a wood stove. So they again have found a new home, and this shed is going to find a new home, so the person's going to come and collect this. So hopefully in the next video I'll be able to update you on that.